So Jason Humble, alongside Darren Hossack, the former Australian Sports Sedan champion, joined the historic touring car race a couple of years ago, so an all-Mazda front row. Jason Tilley in the Mustang, his first visit to Winton Motor Raceway, part of the Tilley Racing Dynasty, third generation racer. Great to have Jason on board in that red Mustang number 29. Glenn Miles for the Mopar fans in the Charger number 16. Start out of grid 4. Les Worms in the Cortina number 99 alongside Brett Ferris in the Tirana. Here we go, folks. Race 1, historic touring cars. A good start from Hossack. Humble, a little slow off the line with some wheel spin there, though. Into turn 1 for the first time. Darren Hossack will lead in the Mazda number 18. Nips a break. Miles into third in the Charger, so got the jump on Jason Tilley in the Mustang. First, the Tirana fifth. Off on to the water was James McNiven in the RX2 number 38 and rotates the car in the old pit lane. We did a 720 there, I think, James.
Around and around, you get dizzy.
So McNiven joins the circuit, part of the McNiven team. Peter out there as well, but up into tank corner for the first time. Hossack leads Humble. Miles in the Charger is third, then it's Tilley in fourth. Brett Ferris doing a good job in the first of the Tiranas. Keep an eye on Tony Hubbard too, the veteran, the number 24, 68 model Chevy Camaro coming through the field. The wet conditions this morning did not help the big Chev in qualifying. Humble now throwing down the gauntlet to Hossack, but he's on the outside of that corner, so Hossack maintains the lead. Here comes Hubbard, as I mentioned, the number 24 Chev Camaro on the charge, goes up the inside of Dom Leo.
What's the screen?
Dom Leo, of course, son of the famous Tino Leo, who is here this weekend. The orange Mustang number 84. He has Pete Muleman for company too in that all-black Mustang number 43.
Oh, and he's got nicer sideways too, is Leo. He's got a bit out of shape there, as we say, coming down onto the main straight again. And a good dice with it. And this Humble's got through onto Hossack. Very good passing move there. And Humble will probably break away now as he gets past Hossack, going up into turn 1.
Meanwhile, Jason Tilley's moved up into third in the red Mustang number 29. So Miles in the Charger back to fourth. Great move there from Jason Humble, but Darren Hossack trying to latch onto the rear of that number 2 RX2. Rob Burns having a strong run too. Phil Barrow, unfortunately, in the FJ Holden has come to a stop.
That's a shame. He was going quite well.
Son of the famous Humpy Holden racer Alan Barrow. The car has been in the family for many, many years, so disappointing there for Barrow. Had a trip to Morgan Park a few months ago, had a good run up there, but his race is going no further on.
Yeah, it's just up on the turn up there into near the top of the circuit, so out of action, unfortunately. Always puts on a safety car.
Safety car is being dispatched. So perhaps to retrieve the stricken Barrow Holden.
Yes, he's right in the braking area for the top of the corner there, so probably fairly vulnerable if someone happened to get a bit sideways going up to there. So good move to get it out of the way. Probably take a minute or two, and we've got a great lock up here going by car 24, which is Hubbard. He's really flat spotted a tyre there. I'm not sure why he needed to lock up so much there, but anyway, he did.
It looks like something's broken on the Humpy because that is parked at a strange angle there, Ron, up against the tyres there. So
he was looking at the left-hand front, so whether he's had a flat or broken something on the front end, yeah. Shame, but never mind. He has never seen a Humpy go quite as well as his. Yeah, we're going to see a replay of the start. Here it is.
Great start from Hossack. Got the jump on Humble. Something that we can't say happens very often. He's very quick off the line, usually Jason Humble, but a great start from Hossack. He took the lead early. And also Miles was handily away in the Charger. And James McNiven, unfortunately, coming to grief at turn 1 and showing you how slippery the grass is there on the infield.
Well, we had 7 mils of rain overnight, so it is very slippery. We've got a small lake out in the middle there. I hope no one ploughs into that.
Well, I heard the frogs croaking down there at the green paddock there, so it's a sound we don't usually hear at Winton.
Exactly. And the Volvo taking up the last line there is
Lockie Wheeler.
And the Volvo 144. So the recovery boys onto the action pretty quick. Burrow's got back in the car, so he's got to steer it out of where they are there. There's nothing like getting out of the car on a nice day like today in your nice driving shoes and you step into the biggest puddle you can find. It's not a good feeling, believe me.
Can you still buy galoshes, Ron?
I don't know, you might need them today. Good gumboots would be the go. So we're still getting that car out. He's back onto the hard stuff again. I can see out the window there.
Looks like Tony Hubbard was also being served a 5-second penalty. It's come up on the timing screen here in the number 24 Chevy Camaro. So at the moment he's 5th, so he'll be...
Might have been a jump start.
5 seconds added to his race time. That might drop him down the order once we get back underway.
I wasn't sure, to be honest with you. The yellow flags were out already, and Hubbard was still ploughing up the back straight at a great rate and saw the flag and locked it up like you wouldn't believe. So maybe someone's suggested that's not the thing to do. Anyway, Tony can take it on the chin, I'm quite sure.
Adrian DeMuro, unfortunately, has retired in the Alpha before the yellow flag came out. We saw him have a fantastic meeting at the Phillip Island meeting earlier in the year, that bright blue Alpha. He has retired, joining Barrow on the sidelines and also Stephen Pillikers in the Tirana. Lights are still on in the safety car, so just retrieving the humpy. Quite stretched fairly thinly, the Holdens, aren't they, when you start racing them, Ron? Never renowned for their fantastic reliability. They're never designed to race to start with.
No.
But it was just local ingenuity and passion that got them going really quickly. But they do have some weaknesses.
Well, of course, there were the days of the six-cylinder series out at Calder Raceway, and you had an absolute whole field of old humpy Holdens, the occasional FE Holden thrown in, but and a Falcon or two, but they had the six-cylinder series. But,
the great Norm Beachy, of course, really first came to notice with that all-black machine, wasn't it, Ron?
Yes, the FX Holden, J40 was on the side of that one. Yes, he probably showed the way with the old humpy Holdens, how quick they were. And a great sight to see, the old Storm Norman, as we called him.
Raced well into the early 70s too. I think the all early model Holden class, even when we had touring cars proper, if you like, running alongside. So very popular back in the day, but very rare these days to see them racing. So it's great to have the Barrow machine.
Well, of course, there was always that fantastic photograph of Norm in a half-barrel roll at Tin Shed Corner at Calder with Bob Jane and his Fiat 2300. Says he touched the back of it just lightly, but it was enough to upset the Holden. The way she went.
Bob never traded paint. Come on, Ron.
No. But anyway, so Norm rebuilt the car again, and it went off to other pastures after that. PK 171.
451. There'll be a Holden expert in the crowd. Will be grumbling at us for not remembering the rego number of that famous Beachy machine.
He put the next number on the H Holden that he ran. So
Dick Johnson, another one that cut his teeth. His first race car, I believe, was an FJ.
Exactly.
Orange FJ, painted with a brush before he moved on to an EH. So he did start out in Holdens before becoming that Ford legend that we all know and love.
He was a red man before he was a blue man. There you go.
Saw the light.
Saw the light. See some of the competitors and the spectators all rugged up down there. It's still pretty cool outside, and I think we've lost the rain just for a minute. We got towards the west and a little bit to the north.
Green flag racing, and Hummel's got the jump. Good restart, and look at Tilly now in the red Mustang, putting the pressure on Darren Hossack and that purple People Eater, the number 18 RX2.
Oh,
Rob Burns getting very sideways in the Charger, gathers it all up. Brett Ferris gave him a wide berth on number 19, Tirana.
Might be a bit slippery out there, Darren, and I feel I'm getting sideways. They've got their wipers on, so...
A few spits of rain,
Yep,
making things interesting.
I think so. Oh, and there's the other XU, no, the RX2 getting off
McNiven
the
again
line.
goes off at
He's having trouble with that corner.
turn 1. So James McNiven, he's certainly finding out about the braking abilities of the Mazda down there at turn 1.
Certainly finding the limits of that. But still Humble, Hossick, Tilly, Miles, and then Hubbard. Hubbard's usually up the pointy end of this sort of race, so maybe just...
Greasy conditions not playing into his hands at the moment.
And he's got that 5-second penalty too, so he probably doesn't know about that, of course, unless they've given him a flag and a board at the start finish line.
No radios, of course, being an historic category, so he'll find out about that at the end. So Brett Ferris doing a good job here on screen. The number 19 Tirana keeping the Charger of Rob Burns at bay, with Ben Wilkinson, the Sydney sider, in the silver Mustang number 189 right on his tail. Ian Mewett in the big blue number 55 fastback Mustang, and another safety car. So
it's our friend in the...
that's Peter McNiven in the number 13. Luke. So not a good meeting for the McNiven so far. We saw James have his issues at turn 1 twice, and now Peter McNiven unfortunately has come to a stop.
Okay, the safety car was about to come out, but it didn't catch up with the lead car, so he's had to pull back and turn the lights off. We'll just see how they execute this, because I think they've got the RX2 fairly well hooked up now for a tow off the track.
That stricken RX2 is just on the outside of the sweeper, right on the edge of the circuit. So we've seen some incidents there before. So obviously a yellow and safety car, quite a dangerous part of the track to have a car sitting near the edge of the racing surface they're on. So obviously the right call to remove the McNiven Mazda and put the field under the control of the safety car.
Absolutely.
You remember the big Chris Ralph rollover in the BMW at that very part of the circuit some years ago?
Absolutely, yes. Well, we did term it rollover corner for quite some time. We had a few trip and fall over there on the big sweeper. Okay, so we've got the safety car out now, so he's picking up the lead cars.
Interesting to note, before we went to this second safety car, Darren Hossack posted the fastest lap so far in the number 18 RX2, 140.46, so eclipsed the fastest time of Jason Humble. So it will really be a great race to the flag once we get underway between those two Mazda RX2s at the front of the field. Dark skies here at Winton, but no rain at the moment, fortunately. Bit of a blur now, so we might just get away with a dry condition for the rest of the day. The forecast is looking a lot better for tomorrow, so if you are watching us on Blendline TV and you're thinking about coming up to Winton, wherever you are, make sure you head here nice and early for some great racing action.
I've had plenty of texts from friends all over Australia at the moment that have been watching the Blendline coverage and quite enjoying it. They've said it's fantastic. A few of them took a little while to hook in, but they've hooked in and thoroughly enjoying the motor race.
So the McNiven Mazda being towed away out of harm's way, so we should get a restart very shortly.
Okay, they've caught up to the safety car, so they'll probably do a lap and it'll be a rolling start again, I would imagine. And
a one-lap screamer to the flag with only 2 laps remaining. So this will be an exciting restart for race 1 for historic touring cars, brought to us by the great people at Merkbits, 60 Healy Road, Dandenong South, and also Trackside Race and Rally Tyre Service, Craig Robinson. Stock a great range of tyres from a range of distributors. able to fit balanced buff tyres for race, rally and road conditions. Trackside Race and Rally service there at Factory 2B, 161 Canterbury Road, Kilsyth in Victoria. Just Cars, of course, the category sponsor for historic touring cars in Victoria. Always has some great articles there from Chris Ralph and some race reports as well on all the historic touring car action from the Victorian perspective.
Yes, Chris Ralph's got a good journalistic sort of way of speaking, as he puts a good newsletter out.
Usually churns out a few adjectives. I need to get the thesaurus out to look up what that means, Chris.
Sort of what I'm meaning, yeah, he's got to get the dictionary out. Okay, he's still behind the safety car, which I think has got its lights out.
Certainly does. So a one-lap screamer for race one for the historic touring cars. Keep your eye on this, folks. The two Mazdas will lead the field off. Humble versus Hossack.
Yes, be interesting the dice there between Hossack and Humble.
Also Jason Tilley up there as well, the number 29 Red Mustang, his first visit to Winton. He'll be looking to put a move on the two Rapid Roadies at the front of the field. Getting ready for a restart here in historic touring cars, and they're away. Green flag.
Oh,
Humble
got
streaks
a beautiful
away.
Start there. Very good start off there by Humble. And Hossack in behind, Tilley and Hubbard, of course, still with his 5-second penalty. Green flag as we see them go down through our S's. And Humble goes through past us here. And then the next lot of cars coming through with the XU1s and the big Mustangs. Later model Mustang in there, the blue car. So it was Miles, Burns, Ferris, Wilkinson. And in car 51 going through was Dahlstrom. Good dice there for those trying to catch up under that safety car.
Darren Jones, the number 40, 64 shape Mustang. With Andrew Lane, the big black number 89 fastback Mustang right on his tail. Andrew runs Hogsbreath Cafe at Tarralgon. Joined the category a few years ago and they had a beautiful black Mustang. Really raised the bar as far as car presentation goes. Can Hossack put a move on our race leader, Jason Humble? Nothing between the two Mazdas at the front of the field. Tilley now clear in third in the Mustang with Tony Hubbard behind him in the Chev. Lane looking to put a move on Jones in the battle of the Mustangs.
Okay, just trying to see where the Humble Hossack dice is.
Checkered flag for Jason Humble. He takes the win from Darren Hossack. Jason Tilley third in the Mustang. Tony Hubbard into fourth. Glenn Miles will be fifth in the Charger from Rob Burns. In fact, Wilkinson and Mewett have gone past Burns, so Rob Burns falling down the order on that last lap. So a great win to Jason Humble, a Mazda 1-2. Well, the Rotary fans will be happy with that one.
We've always had a few cars. They're all special. The T-Bird.
Oh, that's mine.
The Combi for when we want to get away. The XR8.
It's going to be a classic.
They're all insured with Shannon's,
We've also got Shannon's Home and Contents cover,
which helps protect our automotive collectibles, tools and memorabilia in the home and garage. If you're motoring enthusiasts like us, it's got to be
Shannon's.
Shannon's, insurance for motoring enthusiasts. Call 13 46 46 for a quote.
We all agree now is the right time to start making choices to support Aussie businesses, supporting Aussie families and communities. Well, from their humble beginnings in Melbourne nearly 100 years ago, Penrite now sit as a truly respected global lubricants brand across automotive and industry. And the best bit, it's still 100% owned by an Aussie family that employs Australians in Australian factories right here on Aussie dirt.